Hello and welcome to Public Conscience. The program draws attention to issues of good governance, citizens' participation, and corruption. The program is brought by the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, PRIMORG, in partnership with the MacArthur Foundation. I am Adaobi Obiabumo with Chidozie Obunaya.
And thanks for joining us. The spelling of PRIMORG is PRIMORG.
On Public Conscience, we seek to increase the level of accountability in governance and promote citizens' active participation and involvement to hold leaders accountable. We raise issues of national importance to increase your consciousness as a citizen.
In today's program, the focus is on party politics and the growing concerns by citizens that Nigeria is drifting towards a one-party state following a wave of defections, mostly by members of the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC.
According to the Punch newspapers, in total, 82 lawmakers, federal and state, and mostly PDP members have defected to the APC since 2023. This is apart from losing key members, including Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori to the rival APC. A lot of well-meaning Nigerians, including former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, had spoken out about the dangers of a one-party state in Nigeria.
The PDP National Working Committee, NWC, after a tense 6-hour meeting in Abuja a few days ago, decided to take the battle to court. Their goal is to reclaim what they call stolen political positions. They believe these positions were won under the PDP and shouldn't be taken to another party without consequences. And I say perhaps it is another good time to test the constitution.
Indeed, Dozie, it is. As the concerns about Nigeria becoming a one-party state persist, the big question is Nigeria really on the verge of becoming a one-party state? And how much does one-party dominance affect democracy, growth, and development of the country? Why is there a high tendency of Nigerian politicians to dump their political party without recourse to ideology or loyalty? And as the PDP prepares to test defections in court, PRIMORG will also be watching closely. Stalwarts from the two major political parties will be part of today's program.
So be ready to join us through phone and text messages during this conversation. The WhatsApp phone line to send your message is 09022656167. That is 09022656167. Please indicate your name and your location when sending your message. This number is for messages only.
Please begin to send your messages as soon as possible to 0902-265-6167. We will give out the numbers to call shortly.
And if you just joined us, the focus is on the concerns of mass defections by politicians and the fears of Nigeria becoming a one-party state. The National Assembly has been the epicenter of the defection since the current administration took off in May 2023, before the Delta State Governor and his cabinet recently emptied into the ruling APC.
But joining us in the studio to have this conversation is the former National Publicity Secretary, PDP, Kola Ologbodion. Good to have you and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Adaobi. Happy New Year's. Good morning.
Thank you so much. We also have an advocacy officer and ECOWAS liaison lead, West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network, Austin Aigwe. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
I wouldn't say Happy New Year because I've seen you before.
We
will also be joined via the phone by an APC chieftain and media consultant, Kazeem Afebwa. But let's quickly start off the conversation with former PDP National Publicity Secretary, Kola Ologbodion. Let's get your take on the defections by members of the PDP and the growing concern that the country is gradually turning into a one-party state.
Well, first and foremost, let me say that the party is concerned, and members of the party and leaders of the party are concerned about the movement from the PDP to All Progressives Congress. But on the second thought, if you look at it, we are in what is called transfer season in the party, and at a time where people begin to shift to the ruling party, the governing party. But what we find ludicrous is a situation where this is, in some cases, are not done from an open heart or from a free mind, because there are cases of manipulation and influence from the ruling government and the ruling party by using agencies of government to harass members or leaders or elected officers in our party. And also in the public space are cases of people being told that if they don't come and join the APC, that even if they won their election, they will be stopped at the Supreme Court and the mandate will be seized. So you have cases of blackmail. But I also don't run away from the fact that there are internal strife within our own party, the People's Democratic Party, creating fears among members of the party. And people begin to think that, oh, we don't even know how the party is going, so let's check the other way. But to be honest with you, I know that the situation has not settled. It's like a running water. It hasn't settled at all. So nobody can actually predict the dimension. But it does, because it does look like the political environment is moving towards a reset, akin to what we had in 2014, 2015. And that's why it's not only in the PDP that you have cases of implosion. You also have it in the Labour Party. You also have it in the MPP. Though largely this is believed to be the handiwork of the ruling government and the ruling party.
But you
But
said
above all, I'm giving you a combination of factors. You understand? So you can't locate it to a singular factor. It is a combination of factors. But you also cannot foreclose a situation that is coming up, that is bound to happen in the All Progressives Congress, where already the signs are manifesting that even in the political group that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, led to APC, there are divisions. Even the CPC, which former President Buhari led to the APC, manifest divisions. So, on account of this, it does appear that the political climate is going towards a reset, like I said earlier on, and you never can tell how this will, all this will end.
So we just watch. Although the ruling party has come out to, dispel the claim, or they've refuted the claim that they are not coercing your members to join them. The latest to talk about that is the Senate leader, to come out and say our party is not coercing people to come over. But that is your PDP. I believe you know your facts and how you go about it. You know why your members are defecting. And
How can anybody believe, if any member of the APC is saying that they are not using coercion? Who's going to take that? You can see it is manifest, it's written. It's everywhere. It's on the political climate. You can witness it. You can see it, that people are being haunted by agencies of government. And when this happens, the natural thing is to say that, well, if you move over, like Kashim Afegbua's brother, the former national chairman of the APC, did say that when you come to join them, your sins are forgiven. So it is practically part of
is it
the
not because there is an internal crisis in the party that your members are defecting to other political parties?
I've listed that among the factors. I told you I'm giving you a combination of factors of what could be responsible.
Well, sorry to jump in here, because speaker talk about the scent, because we have joining us Kasim Afebua, who is an APC chieftain and
his brother said that when
media consultant.
And also don't forget that Kasim is a master of defection, so he will have a lot to say on this. He has moved around a lot of parties.
Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kasim, your party is welcoming opposition politicians with songs and dance. Is this good for democracy?
Very fantastic. You see, people have been listening to commentaries from commentators in the wake of these defections, and people keep talking about the issue of one party state. For God's sake, the media should move to shape the narrative. We have 18 political parties participating in every election every time. Every party will want to swell their own ranks. by receiving defectors every now and then so that opportunities can be widened and the prospects of winning election will be enhanced. But when people keep talking about one party state, I'm wondering where is the one party state? We have 18 political parties. In the last Edo election, 18 political parties participated and they fielded candidates. So if they are not able to put their acts together to get more popular, to get more endorsements from the voters or the citizens, they should blame their own internal mechanism and not blame the ruling party for receiving the factors as a consequence of their own divisions or crisis in those parties. Look at the Labour Party, for example. We have a candidate who was popular against the Totalitarian elections, who rode on the crest of Labour Party and the obedient movement. At the end of the day, he's not even able to put together a party to become attractive to people who want to run the election in subsequent time, or people who also want to take in conversations around governance and democracy. But it is easy and convenient for them to say, oh, it's APC that is causing problems in this party, this party, that. I heard the caller nobody talking about the fact that I don't have apologies for that. The word defection is not a Nigerian word, it's an English word. And if you look at contemporary history of democracy, for those who have practiced for 300 years, defections have almost of regular meanings.
So this is the window of defection, according to Mr. Kola. He did mention that this is the window of defection. This is the period where politicians defect from one political party to the other.
There is no period for defection. You can defect at any time if you are not comfortable with the content and the shenanigans going on in a particular party.
So,
because there has to be something that's attractive within your own principles.
So what is that thing that is attractive in the APC that is making politicians from other political parties defect to the APC?
Okay, what is attractive? Everything is attractive. One, the PDP is not able to put its house in order. APC is able to put its house in order. There is a seamless transition of leadership from the previous normal Akumi led leadership to Abdullah Adamu. To Kanduji. It's seamless. We don't get to hear fashion this, fashion that. Well, the PDP for almost 2-3 years now have been fighting. Damago has been the acting chairman. Anyawu is whether they don't call him national secretary today, tomorrow they say he's not national secretary. They want to choose somebody Kusadu from Lagos and all of that. They are not even able to organize, a convention to choose leaders. Don't forget that as a member of PDP, I fought Colorado and his boss, which is a country, because of the way I managed the handle the finances of the party. They took me to court, they ran away. So the point must be made that political parties must live above board, because it's a recruitment ground for leadership of the country, leadership of the legislature, both at the state and the federal level. And these are very critical, aspects of governance, very critical aspects of leadership of the country. If you have lawmakers who are products of the disgruntled political party and are not able to put it out together, then it becomes a problem. Sitting down to discuss the issue of leadership and bailing out the country from its whole crisis.
Kazim, sorry to jump in there, Kazim. Yes. It's just, I'm curious, don't you worry about implosion in your party as you open your doors and windows wide open?
Why are you crying for us? Let the implosion happen, we know how to manage it. Why are you crying for us? We are receiving people, we need people, more people. I have told people, time and time again, for example, the major opposition party, is not even able to articulate critical alternative viewpoints that will help to put APC in check. APC does not want to be a one-party state. No, APC wants to hear critical ideas that will help to proper solutions to the myriad of problems we have in the country. There is no political party that's an island to itself. We derive inspiration from the kind of commentaries we hear from opposition parties such that we can test them to see how therapeutic they will be to the problems of the country. But when you have a political party that's not even able to get so that they believe points on it becomes a problem. What opposition for opposition and told that Nigerians will need to see the alternative. They will never listen to me. Everybody is scrambling for whatever resources they can do, and at the end of the day, they will end up at each other's throats. And that's what's happening in PDP now. Now they are talking about another candidate. In 2019, another candidate. 2020, another candidate. 2027, another candidate. Even at the time that the political algorithms of the country has changed, whether you like it or not, the South was complete 8 years, 8 years, and after Buhari, 8 years in the North. That is the only way you can sustain.
But that decision is left for the citizens. The citizens are the ones who vote. The citizens are the ones who decide who will rule, not for...
My sister, I don't do politics of theory. I have read enough books all over the world about democracy and the sustenance of saying. Politics in this part of the world, I like being practical. All the things people put it in the book and all of that, the practice is different in Nigeria. You are talking about citizens. I can't go to my work, for example, or my polling unit when I have been the factor to a lot of people in my community, and it's time to vote, and you think that they will vote elsewhere. If they will vote away,
Okay.
the citizens are saying out there, they have owners.
Okay, as we wrap up this conversation, sir, just help us understand this last ditch of it, because the PDP, they will contest. They are planning to contest. There's already a committee in place to contest the defections. What is your take on it? And as we wrap up the conversation, you can do that.
They should wait for more defectors that we're expecting when they are still ready. They should wait so that they can get the whole market loans.
You know, I told you from the beginning that Kazim is a master of defection, having run around several and many political parties. But having said that clearly, I think what happened to PDP should be the problem of PDP. It shouldn't be the problem of APC or Kazim. You understand? And
anyway, he is as an APC member is enjoying the.
He cannot look. It shows the shamelessness. It shows the shamelessness of the APC, and the fact that the APC is insincere with Nigerians. You know why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because when in 2014, 2015 they were coming, they said that PDP members were corrupt. But now they are begging those people, that particular thing the same people that say were corrupt. They are the people that they are begging them, forcing them, luring them to come and join the APC. So where lies the difference? So it shows clearly that ab initio from the beginning, they didn't have the interests of Nigerians at heart. Right. So they were just a lying machine who came and confused the people. That's all. Which party? Which party do you have that's not
all right, we have to leave you at this point. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, Mr. Kazim, we would have to call you back because we need to interact with another guest in the studio. We will call you in another 5 minutes.
Thank you for joining us. That was APC chieftain and media consultant Kazim Afebwa, joined us from Benin. Thank you so much for your patience, Mr. Austin Aibe.
He's neither APC nor PDP.
He's the advocacy officer and ECOWAS liaison lead, West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network. Let's get your reaction to the conversation so far, and tell us what you feel about how people are affected by politicians moving in droves, jumping from one party to the other. What is in it for the citizen?
Well, you said I'm not APC or PDP. I don't even know which part to speak about. Well, let's put it this way. This is politics. And politics is the authoritative allocation of scarce resource. Politics is who get what, how, and when. And that notion defines that people will always align with the trajectory that favors them. That interest that meets their individual and very selfish notion. The whole idea of defection has nothing more to do with simply interest. I haven't said that. I'm also
voting for citizens.
Well, citizens to do what? How many citizens? I mean, let's talk. There's a lot to. So when politicians, have you not had African leaders talk about the reason why they are contesting elections because their people want them? Even some have made 4 attempts. I'm sure you know what's happening right now in Cameroon. 40-something years after, the people still want him. That's politicians for you. They always create that narrative that they are doing this in the best interest of their people. Like the one happening in my state, of course, said it was not in his own interest, it was for the interest of his people, so that development could come to his people. Let me also state, without equivocation, I have said elsewhere that Nigerians don't have political party system. What Nigeria has is people coming together for the purpose of contesting election. Once election is over, they are back to their square. Check it. Every political party in this country, let's start from 1999. You know, PDP ran through up to 2015 elections, and then the merger that happened in 2014 and all that gave the baton to APC. The moment PDP exited power at the national level, the crisis in PDP started. And that crisis is still what is still bedeviling the party to date. For APC, they are, coming from my brother Kazim, the truth of the matter remains. APC is enjoying the thing now that PDP enjoyed. Everybody was in PDP.
For 16 years.
Not 16 years. Everybody was in PDP. If you want to win an election, you have to join PDP. Unless some kind of restate where it was almost difficult for PDP to win. At a time when when I use the word everybody, I'm generalizing. At a point, that was the question you asked Mr. Kazim earlier, that what about the likelihood of the things that will happen in your party? Say, no, don't cry for them. But we've seen this before. It was the influx of multitude into the PDP. At some point, the quest, who now wins election? I'm not talking about general election. I'm talking about the primary election. Because when you win primary election, it's like a giving. And that's exactly what's happening now. The APC, few of them that I spoke to said, people are going to the party that they know they will likely win. Because when you have secured this ticket, general election look like a runover. The main quest for political participation, we have to be in the party. And the contestation, if you see party primaries at some point in the PDP, particularly, of course, before 2014, before even between 2007 and 2015, the quest was massive, to the point that at some point, former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, had to even openly, even though he said he didn't tear his party card, those contestation will visit APC very soon, because there's going to be at some point that massive influx, everybody wanting the same thing. Imagine that 15 strong men or strong women now wants the same position. Go and write it down. I will come back and have discussion. It happened in a state where a PDP candidate lost party primaries. He was supposed to win that election, supposedly. I use the word suppose. But the big wigs from Abuja did what they did. He lost the election. On his way from the party primaries, PDP party primary election, they called him from the newfound APC. He moved there and got the ticket. He became governor of that state.
But do you think that what has happened in Delta State now with the governor and other members from PDP moving to APC, do you think that the structure of APC in Delta State will be affected? Talking about the person that will be in charge, would it be the governor or members of we have Omo Agege in APC who has been there for quite some time? How do you think it will play out?
I don't need to think about it. The governor said it already. The governor said, I am now in charge.
He owns the structure.
He said, and categorically, he said, Omo Agege and Festus Keyamo will have to be under. The truth of the matter is that the crisis may actually begin from Delta State. Because what you are now telling me is that Omo Agege did contest with the current governor. He lost election. Of course, he lost election based on declaration. And eventually, soon after he lost it, within 2 years, this same man that used to be my opponent has now come to my fold. I was already preparing to galvanize support for the next 2027 election. Here you are, this guy is coming. So what now happened? Who takes the ticket of Delta State? It's going to be very...
You have a lot to pick up on, Kola Olebodin. Thank you so much for your patience again. I don't know if you touch on, if you want to react to some of the issues raised before we open up the phone
Hazim
line.
did mention transition of leader, that smooth transition of leadership in the APC, which the PDP lacks.
We understand why the APC, we understand why the PDP is having that challenge. And that is part of the reason why we accuse the APC and the ruling government of sponsoring crises in the opposition political parties. We know where that crisis is coming from. We know the people who are behind them. You understand? And we know the agencies that they work for. So what Kazim is saying is neither here nor there. The unfortunate,
you know the people
yes.
who are behind all this.
Yes.
So what are you doing as a party to stop it?
Yes, the party capacity to stop it lies in the hands and the privileged offices of the people who have been put in charge of the party to run our affairs. So no matter how much you know, you still have to go back to the people who have been put in those offices and who they are answerable to. So that is a challenge within the party. But having said that, I'm aware that there are efforts in the mill as we speak to put all these things behind us and see how we can galvanize the party once again and prepare it for.
You trust the Saraki-led committee to trash this out. The party put that committee together earlier in the week, I guess, some days ago. You trust that committee to be able to pull this?
What Senator Bukola Saraki will achieve will be dependent on the readiness or otherwise of the members and leaders of the People's Democratic Party. He has done the job. He has gone on that route before for the party ahead of the 2023 election, I guess. And he went round and sought to reconcile the members and enable us to be able to achieve purpose. So he's on a familiar terrain. So whether he can achieve it or not will be predicated on what the members of the party as well as their leaders truly desire. Okay. So that is it for the Saraki issue. But now, going back to the issues raised by Austin is being factual and is very realistic. And I have no reason to controvert the positions that he has put forward. The challenges in our political system is as expressed by him. And I like the fact that he used Delta State as his own example. Because when we talk about, when people say that, governors are moving, senators are moving. And so, in the 2023 presidential election, the governor of Delta State and the whole of the structure, as well as the fact that he was the vice presidential candidate of the party, Labour Party defeated the PDP in Delta State. So those who are putting value or those who are putting weight upon whether they are capturing the governors, they should use the Delta example. And mind you, like I say everywhere I've spoken on this matter, at the end of it all, it's about Nigerians.
Thank you so much. We will leave it. We will come back to you, but it's time for us to get the person listening at the other end of the dial to join the conversation.
Yes, just to let you know that you can follow us on our social media platforms at official PRIMORG. PRIMORG is spelled PRIMORG. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook.
Remember that the program is interactive. The WhatsApp phone line to send your message to 0902-265-6167. Please begin to send your messages. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is
Okay, look, man. How much does one-party dominance affect the growth of democracy and development in Nigeria?
Okay. To me, I do not even think there are political parties, genuine political parties in Nigeria. But one of the fundamental things about political parties is the ideology. Like what exactly they stand for. And none of them possess it. So what we have in Nigeria is just an association of individuals who are taking for power and to control the state resources. That's what we have since 1999. But none of the parties has been able to have a clear ideology, which we know in other parts of the world, the party stands for. Maybe on the radical, like Dore, you know, Amedita, their characters like that. I'm not saying those people. Those who can go to the left in the assembly, then we need to know that, oh, even the Labour Party, so all of them are the same.
Alright.
So I am not concerned. I'm not bothered about the one party that people are clamoring for. Just as you said, Labour Party won better. So Sharif was the candidate, Okowa was the even presidential candidate, was governor then, so they lost. So 2027 is not about political parties. All of them they can try to go and get one party. Nigerians are not robot. So they are not programmed to give one way. So
Okay.
Nigerians put it as open to the campaign, so they will vote against it.
Thank you so much.
Too much infrastructure politicians, we can continue to jump from one place to another.
Alright, thank you for your contribution. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, could you turn down the volume of your radio set, please?
Okay, let me move away from the radio set.
Alright, thank you so much.
My name is Abakar calling you from Gwagwalada.
Let's hear you in 1 minute. What's your contribution to the conversation?
It's very unfortunate. This is a current ruling party, APC, the party that came on the strength of an opposition party. And millions of downtrodden Nigerians, a good sacrifice. Some people lost their lives through personal sacrifice and personal donation. They came to power, but no tangible result. It's an escalation of abject poverty, hunger, misery, and unemployment. Even what insecurity, level of insecurity. Today, they want to take Nigeria on the line of one party state. It is already failure. It will not succeed. Under Kwame Nkrumah at the independent Ghana, they experimented CPP party under one party state. It eventually collapsed. It even led to the fall of his government and his eventually control. Ghana was not as complex as Nigeria. With the most complexity, different ethnic groups. How come a one party state? Unless if they will go on the path of misrule, psychopathy, and what I feel that is going on. It will not work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abubakar.
When you call in, make your
Please.
comments as short as possible to give other people opportunity to contribute.
Alright, let's get another.
Hello? Hello? Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello, good morning. My name is Sam.
Your name
Hello,
is...
good morning. My name is Sam.
Okay,
Sam,
Sam,
let's hear you.
you in 1 minute.
Yes, I'm calling from Abuja Central area.
Okay, go on.
Whether it is one party system, two party system, the problem we have is just the electoral body. That's the problem we have. Because if the ruling party goes ahead and everybody wants to follow it to them, there's no problem about that. But the problem we have is just INEC is a problem in Nigeria. Because you can go, you can walk a horse, to the stream, but you can't force it to drink water. So the problem we have, people jump into the ruling party in the government, let us go, let them, whatever they would like. But our problem is just INEC. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for joining us with your thoughts there. Let's get back to
Continue.
Okay. Let's take this call and get back to our guest. Hello?
Could you turn down the volume
Please
of
turn
your
down the
radio
volume
set?
of your radio set.
Hello.
Alright. Let's talk. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Baba. I'm calling from Kwali.
You have 1 minute, please. Go on.
Yes. One party and no one party. It's not the issue. When you think of the percentage of people that are crossing from PDP or other parties to APC, find out what percentage of them are clients of EFCC. It's unfortunate. The corruption is so rife in such some parties that they have taken over certain areas where we're supposed to get some freedom. But what we observe now is that a lot of PFCC candidates are the ones that are going to, the ruling party. What does that pretend? It's not good for Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. The much we can take. Let's get back to.
We have Kazim Febwa, who is an APC chieftain and a media consultant. As we wrap up, Kazim, let's have your final take, please.
Well, my final take is for the opposition political parties to wake up from slumber. They have been blinded by their own self-interest. They are not looking at the bigger picture. People should bury their ambition, because ambition is what is tearing PDP and other parties apart. They have perennial aspirants who want to approximate the collective aspiration of these political parties without letting go. And when you have that kind of scenario, you are bound to have the kind of crisis that is being experienced presently in the major opposition party, the PDP. So we want, for democracy to flourish, we want virile opposition. Opposition is an integral part of every democratic process. But we cannot say because they are opposition, we allow them the latitude of causing destruction to government. Because the crisis is also causing destruction.
You call that distraction?
Kazim, but your party did worse than PDP is doing when they were in the same position.
Not the APC when they marched in 2014. Since from that time to now, they have not been causing any destruction or any crisis like we have in PDP. PDP is very disorganized.
All right.
Unfortunately, Kazim is part of the people that laid the foundation for that disorganization.
They should bury their ambition and look at the bigger picture of the country. Then when they get to the T junction, they will know how to navigate it. You see now, everybody is talking about 2027, and it is the reason why PDP is neither here nor there. And they're complaining that people are living. Why would people not live the way they don't even have a roadmap?
All right. For want of time, we'll have to leave it here. Sorry about that, but thank you so much for this concluding remarks.
So I'm allowed to tell them the truth.
Which truth do you have? Well, after laying the foundation for this organization, Kazim, you know it now. You are one of the people who laid the foundation for what the PDP is passing through. You are part of the people who laid that foundation now.
Why do you allow external influence to go?
Which external influence? Did you not lay the foundation before you left the party? You laid the foundation before you left the party. That's the point I'm making. Anyway, you have made your own point. Let me say my own. Bye bye.
Thank you.
I think Kazim. Kazim.
Comment as
I think Kazim needs to know, and he needs to learn it quickly, that because Edo election was a standalone election, and they did all that they did and said they won election, he's deluding himself if he's thinking that that will happen on a national scope. It will never happen on a national scope. But having said that, it's important to let him know also, and to let Nigerians know that, and I'm even sure that going by the responses that we have gotten from Nigerians this morning, that they are aware that the right to choose who will lead them lies with them. And that's why I love the reaction of the chap that called from central area, who said that the issue is about INEC. And I watched Iyaga.
Agree with that?
Absolutely. Who doesn't know? And I watched Iyaga yesterday, and it was exciting when he came up with a number of amendments that are required to give Nigeria, at least a near perfect election. You understand it? So these conversations are going on.
What about
narratives have been set
in your party that keep thwarting the efforts of your party? Give me that.
Like you and I said, that series of meetings had held from Ibadan to the meeting of the governors to the meeting of the BU Board of Trustees in the last couple of weeks, several meetings, and to the fact that the party is going for a neck. The moment we can get to the level of a neck,
then the issue, if not fully resolved, have been more than half resolved. So I believe that the PDP, with the trajectory that we are using now, we may be able to bring up a party that will be strong and viable and be able to stand for election. But above all, like most of the people who have participated in this conversation have said, at the end of it all, it's about Nigerians.
Let's get to Austin. Let's get to your concluding remarks, because we ask ourselves as a civil society person, what I will be asking, where do we go from here? The citizens, we are left aside, we are just standing by the corner as we watch political parties.
Citizens are not members of political parties.
Yes.
If you are talking about party, we stay with political parties.
Yes.
We need to strengthen political party architecture in this country. We need reforms that strengthens political party system. The current architecture does not work, wherein a member defects from one party and still enjoys the position. If you defect from a party, in this country we don't have independent candidate. Every candidate who won election are sponsored by parties. So if you go in and you won election on the basis of party A and you decide to move to party B, you should lose the position and the position return back to the party that owns it, or the person who won second in the party primaries of that party where you abandoned. That way nobody will move again. At the end of the day, we can begin to build systems. We can begin to build ideology. Until that happens, defection will not cease. Defection and general election, I think so that we don't put too many things on the basket, let's focus on political party. If we don't have strong political party system in this country, we can never have good elections. Because usually every intra-party conflict usually snowball to general election. The kind of party primary that holds where internal party system is lacking in parties, it impacts on the elections. And at the end of the day, that infighting then transfer to citizens and then they divide us. It's a game of divide and rule. Citizens will continue to see those shenanigans in the media, and then they get to the point of now our own. You see, the greatest challenge in this country is our own.
We lose sight of governance.
Because once it's your own, you no longer check whether the person is performing. Until the person who wins election win correctly at the party primaries, move over to the general election and won credibly well, election integrity, I'm not talking about manipulation. And then the person knowing that the Nigerians voted for him or her will be careful, because Nigerians will also remove them. Most of the conversation ongoing now, like I told you, people defected because they know they are likely to win. You have not looked at that. They are likely to win. Resources are available. State capture is available. So what are you talking about election for? Deal with the party system first.
But you know there is a section of the constitution that makes provision for people to defect from one political party to the other because of internal political crisis.
We haven't gotten to that level of crisis. Exactly. Provided for in the constitution.
And
because Austin. Because what the constitution provides for is that there must be a division from the national to the local in a manner that every office has an alternative office. But if you look at the PDP, we haven't reached that situation. And I agree absolutely with Austin that reforms needs to be made in respect of defection. For instance, as we speak now, it's only a parliamentarian that can defect and loses his or her seat. If anybody in the executive defects, the constitution is silent on that. And I expect the National Assembly, as well as the State House of Assembly, to create a room that will reform that situation so that it affects both parliamentarians and those on the executive side. So
we'll have to stay on this conversation because it's not going to end today, because it's something that holds us a lot. The fabrics of our democracy. Is unfortunate that we find ourselves in this state, but we continue talking about it. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by bad people, but the silence over that by good people, according to Martin Luther King. That is why we'll continue talking about Nigeria's democracy and how to get it right. This is where we'll be drawing the curtains on today's program.
Yes, indeed. We really have to go because of our time.
Yes, and please visit our news website, primorgnews.org. That is primorgnews.org for all the details of our report and interviews. Visit our website www.primorg.org to get all the information about Primorg.
And you can watch our videos on PRIMORG TV, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to get reminders when we have a new post. We sincerely appreciate our guests. Former National Publicity Secretary, PDP, Kola Ologbodion. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
And also Advocacy Officer and ECOWAS Liaison Lead, West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network, Austin Aigbe. Thank you for being that strong voice that we have always known. And also to APC Chieftain and Media Consultant, Kasim Afegwa, who joined us via the phone. Public Conscience has the support of the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant and peaceful world. Get more information about the foundation on its website, macfound.org.
Join us again here when we have another episode of Public Conscience, and remember to follow us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, at Official Primorg. I am Chidozie Obunne.
And remember that birth registration and certificates are free if your child is under 18. Help stop the corruption in birth registration and do not pay for birth certificates. Also remember that you can give us information or hint about corrupt acts through our phone at 0902 265 6167 or info@primorg.org. I am Adelbi Obiabumo. Thank you for listening.